gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Nerdy Man Room Show proudly brings you Cards Subject to Change with Hassel. That's right, people. We are back. I told you we would be, and we are. And this week, this is where we're going to tackle the what ifs of professional wrestling, just like we do every week. But this week, we have none other than what if the Patriot had stayed healthy in 1997 upon his WWF debut. So, for those of you who may not have flash photography memory, let me give you a little backstory of where we're at with this right here. So, in 1997, in the, I guess you would say the formulative days, the infancy, if you will, of the Attitude Era. We didn't quite know it was the Attitude Era yet, but it's starting to gear up, people. In those early days, Bret Hart has just became anti-American, pro-Canadian. Well, he's always pro-Canadian, but very much anti-American. They just did the double turn at WrestleMania 13. The Hart Foundation has just reformed, and the Hart Foundation is the #1 heel group in the WWF. And everything is getting edgier. Bret has, regained the WWF Championship because Shawn Michaels screwed over The Undertaker, accidentally trying to screw Bret. It is just, or we're actually almost to that point. I apologize. We're getting there. But, you see where I'm going with this. So, during this time of where we're getting really edgy, Stone Cold starting to take off as kind of your anti-hero, so to speak. And The Undertaker, he's in his leather pirate gimmick. Not too bueno. I'm not sure what he was thinking with that right there. Like the teardrop, the works. That was just a drizzling shits, Mark. I'm not sure where you was going with that. But hey, I've seen a few interviews. It is what it is, butt player. We done a lot of experimental things in the 90s. But, so, for those of you who are ready to buckle up, are you ready? Let's do this. So on July 14th, the Patriot debuts alongside Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sid, this is one of Sid's last appearances actually. Ken Shamrock and HBK to stand up against the Hart Foundation on Monday Night Raw. On Shotgun Saturday night, Vince McMahon interviews the Patriot, who declares he has come to the WWF to defend America and anyone who faces injustice, starting this Monday on Raw versus Triple H. That's right. We're in the early days of Triple H. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's starting to kind of, drift in there with Shawn Michaels on camera a little bit. On Raw, we get the Patriot versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, with the winner getting a European title match at SummerSlam. The Patriot gets a massive pop, and he has that OG Kurt Angle song. It had a little more of a rock chord riff to it before Kurt got it. I mean, they softened it up a little for Kurt, but it had a little rock chord to it. Jim Johnson, perfection, baby. Bulldog is sitting ringside. We get a solid match here. Patriot hits the Patriot missile from the top rope after Mankind comes down to distract Hunter, allowing Patriot to pick up the win and the title shot at SummerSlam. That's right, Mankind hadn't went corporate yet, and he was starting to somehow or another become a face. Only Hunter Hearst Helmsley could be hated so damn much. Mankind became a face. The Cactus Jack, it's a different story. Next week on Raw, we get the Hart Foundation. They're declaring war on the Patriot, beginning with Bret Hart versus the Patriot. We get a great matchup between Bret Hart and the Patriot, and this actually happened, people. With them, this is amazing. Tons of Hart Foundation and Austin and Shawn Michaels ringside shenanigans. Eventually, Bret gets to John with Shawn, and Patriot schoolboys him for the win. Bret is livid. That actually happened. Not quite like that, but it did happen, people. At SummerSlam, European title match. Champion British Bulldog versus the Patriot. We get a huge pop for the Patriot, who is super over. Dude, he was smooth as silk in the ring. It looked believable. His punches, his kicks, super great suplex from this guy. Man, if he'd have just stayed healthy, whew. We get a great matches. Both men are big, huge power guys moving to the ring. We get Anvil and Pillman make their way ringside. The Patriot nails the Patriot missile off the top rope on Bill Bulldog and signals for the full Nelson Slam. This will become the Patriot Slam for anyone that doesn't know. Anvil distracts the ref while Pillman swings his crutch at the Patriot, who ducks, nailing Bulldog. Patriot covers Bulldog for the 1, 2, 3, and new European champion, the Patriot. Man, the feint could have been... Whew. On Raw, we get European champion, the Patriot, versus the Sultan. Now, for those of you that don't remember, the Sultan was Rikishi. But what a good time, folks. Kind of mediocre match, but the crowd is into it with the Patriot, who serves the Sultan his first loss. Afterwards, the new champ cuts a promo on winning the European title, and it says it's step 1 in a dismantling the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart, now that you are the WWF champion, you're on my radar. The Hart Foundation comes out and scoffs, telling Wilkes that he got a fluke win last night at SummerSlams, and that Wilkes, you will pay when it comes down to you versus Bret Hart. Bret, if it was a fluke, then what was it last week when I beat you? Owen tells the Patriot to find a partner next week, and Owen and Davey will finish him off. Wilkes responds, how about 2 and Bret joins you? But you're on. On Raw, we get the Hart Foundation of Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog versus the Patriot and 2 mystery opponents. The Foundation looks confident, but no one knows who will help the Patriot as we are awaiting his entrance. The Patriot's music hits, and like a record player scratching, the next song kicks off with none other than LOD's What a Rush. Now, you know the fucking Road Warriors got a pop like no other back then, people. Blast the roof off the place as LOD has joined the Patriots. The Patriot. I'm sorry, people. Patriot comes out spike pads and all. Road Warrior pop. We get the Hart Foundation coming out to their music, trademark pose in the corners, the works. Bret and Wilkes start the match off with a great stare down. Fists begin to fly. Bret is quickly tagging Davey and animal tags in as the 2 powerhouses stand toe to toe. This ends up being a fun match, very much back and forth. In the closing minutes, the Patriot nails the Patriot missile on Bret and attempts the Patriot slam when he rolls out. Patriot gives chase. LOD hits the Doomsday device on Owen for the 1, 2, 3. LOD and the European champion win. On Raw, we get Vader versus the Patriot, with the winner becoming the #1 contender for Bret Hart's WWF Championship at Ground Zero. Man, them in your houses were just starting to get names and themes as they were kind of transitioning away a little bit from the just in your house, but hey, it is what it is. Bret is ringside on commentary for this one. People, he was heel gold at that time. Vader and Wilkes have a great chemistry and a good match. The Patriot missile on Vader for the win and the title match. He points at Bret and declares that the WWF Championship will be his in your house, Ground Zero. On the go-home edition of Raw, Davey gets a European title rematch against the Patriot. The Hart Foundation come out with Bulldog, competitive matchup where both men shine. Eventually, Wilkes nails the Patriot slam on Bulldog, but Owen distracts the ref. Bret clocks Patriot with Pillman's crutch over the head and pulls Davey on top for the 1, 2, 3, and new European champion, British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith. Afterwards, the Hart Foundation, they just beat the living tar out of the Patriot. They put the boots to him, working him over, sopping him up for Ground Zero. At In Your House, Ground Zero, September 7th, 1997. The Patriot is interviewed by none other than Sonny. He declares that he should still be the European champion, if not for the Hart Foundation, on Monday on Raw. He is a real American, not a crybaby Canadian like Bret Hart, though, so he won't make excuses. Tonight, Hitman, you're in the Patriot sights, and the WWF Championship will come home to the USA. Now, people, just a side note right now. If the Patriot was still around today, unfortunately, he would probably be the hottest heel in wrestling just for being American. Truth. Fact check me. Tell me when I'm telling lies, people. We get WWF Championship match. Bret the Hitman Hart versus the Patriot. Another Road Warrior pop for the challenger. Massive heat for Bret. We get great heel babyface matchup with tons of back and forth. These two had really great chemistry in the ring. Bret knew that he wanted to make the Patriot work, and if he knew he wanted to make a guy work, it was beautiful. Look at Austin. Austin would not be where he is if not for this match right here. Facts, people. Late in the matchup, Bret begins to get into trouble as the Hart Foundation make their way ringside when LOD and Ken Shamrock head them off. Bret is not happy as the glass shatters for Stone Cold Steve Austin. JR, King, oh my God, we thought Austin was injured. Bret looks on the stage anticipating Stone Cold, but he doesn't show up. And then out of nowhere, the Patriot slam from behind on Bret. 1, 2, 3, and new WWF champion, the Patriot. Babyface locker rooms come down and hoist up the new champ on the shoulders. Bret is livid as they have pulled a ruse. There is no Stone Cold, who is actually injured at the time. On Raw, new WWF champion, the Patriot, comes down to address the fans and declare the WWF Championship is home in the USA. When down comes DX. That's right, people. DX had just formed in August. So it's, yeah, we're getting there. Shawn challenges the Patriot to a title match tonight on Raw is War. The Patriot responds at the risk of sounding like Bret Hart. Crybaby, it be my honor to kick your degenerate butt. You got it. Sergeant Slaughter comes out and makes it official. That's an order, pukes, but Triple H, Rude, China, you're banned from ringside. Man, Slaughter was a great commissioner during this time. DX is not happy, people. In the main event, we get WWF champion, the Patriot, versus Shawn Michaels. This would have been an epic 5-star Meltzer classic. Shawn bumps all over the place for the powerhouse Patriot. Both men really compliment each other. Owen and Davey, they come down ringside, heckling both men at some point. Bulldog draws Wilkes' attention while Michaels tunes up the band. He's tuning up that sweet chin music, people. The Patriot turns and ducks, allowing HBK to super kick the Bulldog. Patriot slam for the win over HBK. Now this will be huge for the Patriots. He just beat Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in a matter of 2 nights. Owen blasts Wilkes over the head, though, as he celebrates with a chair and goes to working him over. Davey and Shawn fight ringside to close the show. On Shotgun Saturday Night. Who remembers that, people? The Patriot defends against the Anvil after he is challenged by Owen for one night only with the championship on the line. Now, he would have beat the tar out of Anvil. That was actually one of his last matches in the WWF on Shotgun Saturday Night, but not at this point. On Raw, we get WWF champion, the Patriot, and LOD versus Davey Boy Smith, Owen Hart, and Brian Pillman, the Loose Cannon. This is a fun match to set up the pay-per-view. DX is on commentary while Bret and the Anvil stand on the ramp. Great brawling matchup with LOD nailing Davey Boy, the Doomsday Device on Pillman for the win. Sorry, Pillman. You got to take the fall for the Hart Foundation so the rest stays strong. At one night only, September 20th, 1997, in England. Very pro-Hart Foundation crowd here. The Patriot would not get many cheers this night, people. Sorry. WWF champion, the Patriot versus Owen Hart. The crowd is 60-40 for Owen initially. The champion is fighting uphill. We get Owen and Patriot having a great chemistry. Surprisingly clean matchup, actually, as Owen worked a face for most of the time. Slowly the crowd gets to 50-50, though, eventually getting to 60-40 the Patriot. Patriot gets the win with a chicken wing pin, trapping Owen's arms. The two men shake hands afterwards, showing a bit of sportsmanship. On Raw the next night, Owen challenges the Patriot to a rematch of last night's match, stating that he has Wilkes' number. The Patriot pops up on the Tron and accepts due to Owen's sportsmanship and honor last night, something his brother does not have, he says. We get another great matchup between the King of Hearts and the Patriot. Around with a 12-minute mark, though, Wilkes hits the Patriot missile to set up the Patriot slam when the Hitman and Bulldog flood the ring attacking Wilkes. Owen doesn't look happy about it. With Bret and Davy's involvement. Vader comes down to make the save to even the odds a little bit. On Raw, Gorilla Monsoon announces that at Bad Blood. I don't know why I had Gorilla Monsoon here, people. The Sergeant Slaughter was the commissioner at this point. I apologize. I should proofread my shit. They will be working a flag match with Bret Hart and British Bulldog versus WWF Champion, the Patriot, and Vader. If Bret or Bulldog capture the American flag, that man will also capture the WWF Championship. However, if Team Patriot wins, Vader will receive a WWF Championship opportunity at the next pay-per-view. See, this gives some incentive for the Vader to help him out, right? We get a great building into Bad Blood. Now, for those that don't remember, Bad Blood is where the Hell in a Cell between Undertaker and Shawn was. We get the debut of Kane. This was actually a really great flag match also at that same pay-per-view. The title wasn't on the line, but it was there. Vader tells the Patriot that he is the safest man on the planet in the WWF as he wants that title shot. And tension in the Hart Foundation as Bret tells Davey this is his chance to prove his loyalty to the family by helping him reclaim his WWF Championship. Bad Blood, October 5th, 1997. Team USA versus Team Canada. We get a flag match with an awesome ovation for the Patriot and Vader with tons of heat on the Hart Foundation. This is a fun roller coaster ride with all four men not having clear intentions. Tons of close finishes for both teams, leading with Bret and Bulldog arguing over who gets the flag a couple of different times, leading to Vader almost getting the Canadian flag though. But before Bulldog knocks him off the ropes and out to the ringside through a table, Bret and Bulldog hit the heart attack on the Patriot, and Bret adds salt to the wound as he locks in the sharpshooter. While Bret has Wilkes in the sharpshooter, Bulldog climbs the ropes and grabs the American flag. Oh man, is Bulldog finna win the title? Bret releases the hold, Patriot on Patriot, and walks over to Davey. The flag still in his hands on the ropes as he looks down and stares at the Hitman. Then he hands the flag to Bret Hart as Bret becomes the new WWF champion for the 6th time. Everyone is in disbelief as Davey just handed the title to the Hitman. On Raw, the new champ, Bret Hitman Hart and the Hart Foundation come ringside, where Bret is interviewed by Vince McMahon. He brags about being a 6-time WWF champion and thanks Davey for his family loyalty, something Americans know nothing about. Man, he used to really rub the salt in. Patriot and Vader come out as the Patriot congrats Bret and says that while he may not have won, neither did Bret, and Davey should be the champion. Bulldog says unlike the Patriot, he has family first. He's a family first man, and Bret would have done the same for him. But since Patriot is no longer the champ, how about him and Vader find 2 losers for a 4-on-4 match at the Survivor Series? Vader, it's time! Steve Blackman and Marvelous Mark Mero come out to join Team USA. Mark Mayer had just begun his marvelous mark. He had transitioned over from Wild Man. And that is actually maybe a what if for another day. Drop a comment below. Let me know, do you want me to do what if Marvelous Mark got a serious push? Because that had legs, people. Instead, he goes to facing Sable, and he's just never the same. Survivor Series, November 9th, 1997. Black Sunday, so to speak. Team USA versus Team Canada. We get the Anvil, Bulldog, and Furnace and LaFon. That's right, people. I was just as let down as you were. Mediocre match. Most of this card was just really weird, people. If you look back on that 97 Survivor Series card, you could tell Vince was distracted by what was going on later that night. Blackman and Mara don't last long in the match, as it's Vader and Patriot fighting uphill. Vader eliminates LaFon first. Patriot gets Anvil out next. Unfortunately, Bulldog eliminates Vader, as it's down to Wilkes. He fights from underneath for the rest of the match and pins Furnace after nailing the Patriot slam. It's down to Patriot versus Bulldog at this point. The crowd is heating up as these two have a solid exchange and begin a pretty good one-on-one encounter. Patriot missile off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3, and sole survivor, the Patriot. Unfortunately, people, the screw job still happens. Bret's off to WCW. Bulldog's gone. The rest is written. On Raw the next night, we get a cold match between the Patriot versus Kama Mustafa. We are the nation. Man, Kama could have really done something. He was looking badass back then. I was really big into that. We get a decent matchup, though, however, with it being a cold match. Wilkes picks up the win. Afterwards, JR interviews the Patriot as he states that when he arrived in the WWF, he would stand up for anyone facing injustice. While Bret Hart was a rival, he respected what he had accomplished. And last night, right is right and wrong is wrong. And DX and Vince McMahon, you are wrong with what you pulled last night. DX, be careful because you were in the Patriots' sights. Later in the night, DX comes out with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. This was the weirdest part of that whole screw job because this happened. The Anvil comes out. He joins DX for a part of the night. They mock Bret Hart with a little midget. Rude's off to WCW in the same night. And then before it's over with, DX turns on Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They would have probably done better to have kept him and really just shoved salt in the wound. Instead, they just brought Jim out, jobbed him out, made him look terrible and like a turncoat. So, in this rendition, we're going to have the Patriot come out and make the save to keep the Anvil from just getting completely, utterly destroyed. Anvil, you're off to WCW 2. Sorry, buddy. On Raw, we open the next week with DX and Shawn Michaels cutting a promo on the Patriot for sticking his nose in their business. Wilkes quickly walks out in response, reminds Michaels that he has beat him before and he can beat him again. HBK tells him that he's writing a check his little red, white, and blue ass can't cash. As he comes down to the ring and Triple H will show him. Triple H looks a little surprised there. Then Ken Shamrock's music hits as he says, it's going to be a fair fight and a brawl erupts. Commissioner Slaughter comes down and declares that tonight it will be a tag match with all four men at In Your House DX. Shawn Michaels, you will defend your WWF Championship against the Patriot. So we got a tag match tonight with the Ken Shamrock and the Patriot versus DX. And at In Your House, we got a title match, people. It's main event time. We get DX versus Shamrock and the Patriot. Another Road Warrior pop. I know I keep saying that, people, but Patriot was super over. People underestimate how over like Rover he was during that time. We get a great tag match here with tons of back and forth. Good heel tag heat for DX. The finish comes when China accidentally nails Shawn with a fist and he stumbles into the Patriot slam for the 1, 2, 3. Wilkes celebrates to close. Wilkes and Shamrock celebrates to close the show. And for those you don't know, the Patriot's real name was Dale Wilkes. And In Your House, D-Generation X, December 7th, 1997. WWF Champion Shawn Michaels versus the Patriot. We get nuclear heat for Shawn Michaels. People just fucking hated him during this time as he makes his entrance down. And the place is just pandemonium as the Patriot comes out. And he has Shawn backpedaling before the match ever even rings the bell. We get an excellent 4-star matchup as Shawn Michaels was great bell to bell. It looks as if the Patriot has the match won when he has Shawn Michaels' number. But China once again distracts the ref while Triple H bashes Wilkes over the head with the WWF Championship for HBK to steal the win. That's right. Shawn Michaels, you get the dub over the Patriot. Afterwards, Owen Hart returns, though, through the crowd and attacks Shawn Michaels. The police have to arrest Owen Hart, and Vince McMahon is pissed. Now, people, when Owen Hart returned as the Blackheart Owen Hart, this had so much potential. And if you don't believe me, go back and check out one of the very first episodes of Cards to Subject to Change on Stay Weird Network, where I actually tackled that one right there. On Raw over the next few weeks, it is dominated by Owen Hart coming through the crowd each week, attacking DX and Vince McMahon. A title match is initially set up for December 29th on Raw. December 29th, WWF Champion HBK versus the Blackheart Owen Hart. Now, Owen Hart comes out to the ring by himself. Now, that first gear he had, not so much. After that, I really dug the next gear he wound up having. The crowd was just as behind Hart as they were Austin at the time as an anti-hero. He was wearing leather jackets, he was kicking ass and taking names, and he wasn't playing your typical baby face as he was like really just being an anti-hero. And they were behind him. They had a reason to be behind him. China and Triple H attempt to interfere when the Patriot makes his return for the first time since In Your House D-Generation X with a chair to make the save. Owen slaps a distracted HBK into a small package for the 1, 2, 3 and new WWF Champion, the Blackheart Owen Hart. That's right, people are going to show Owen a little love right here. He is going to become the WWF Champion as he should have at some point during his career. Shawn is beside himself. Hart and Patriot shake hands as the Blackheart celebrates his title victory. Next week on Raw, the Patriot declares himself for the Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble, we get a pre-match interview with none other than the Patriot and Michael Cole. Old Mitchell Cole there, people. And Michael Cole's in his early days. Check this picture out. It is just... But the Patriot is going on to say that he was guaranteeing victory tonight at the Royal Rumble. The Patriot enters the Royal Rumble at number 17 and looks fresh and impressive as this is his first match back after the D-Generation X deal. We are down to the final 4 as it is The Rock and Farouk. Now, the Nation of Domination dominated, no pun intended, this Royal Rumble. They really worked well together, eliminating everybody, getting down to the end. And The Rock and Farouk were the two of the final 4 in this match. We get the Rock and Farouk and Austin and Patriot as your final 4. The Nation attacks Austin and the Patriot, and the crowd is in it. Farouk and Patriot go at it when Rock nails Farouk, allowing Wilkes to eliminate Simmons. Rock turns into a stunner and knives down to Austin and the Patriot. It looks as if Wilkes has it won when Austin reverses a Patriot slam into a stunner. Austin still wins the Royal Rumble. That's right, people. I knew where you thought we were going with this. On Raw, the Patriot comes down and says, while he was close to winning last night, he does respect Stone Cold and knows his day will come again. DX and the New Age Outlaws come down and attacks the Patriot. Owen Hart comes down and Cactus Jack bang, also comes down, but they're still outnumbered when none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin comes down to make the save to even the odds. At No Way Out, we get an unsanctioned tag match as we get D-Generation X with the New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know? This is where the Outlaws started becoming part of DX right here, people. versus WWF Champion Owen Hart, the Patriot, Cactus Jack, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now this is a bar fight of a match. There is no technical prowess in this. People are just brawling all over the place, with DX and the New Age Outlaw working well together, while the good guys, they infight people. In the closing minutes of the match, Austin stuns Hart and then walks off while a shocked Patriot eats a super kick from Michaels. Team DX gets the win. HBK celebrates, pinning the Patriot like he's just won the WWF title. That's right, people, man, the Patriot. You're going out here, boy. What's going on? The build to WrestleMania 14 begins on Raw as the Patriot challenges Stone Cold for walking away from his duty last night. Austin accepts. In the main event, we get Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the Patriot. JR and King imply that if the Patriot were to win this, he should get the title victory or title match at WrestleMania versus the Blackheart Owen Hart. It isn't a technical match at all, though, as it's just a slobber knocker of a match. Patriot is pissed. WWF champion the Blackheart comes down and sits ringside and begins to taunt Austin, when European champion Shawn Michaels makes his way through the crowd and super kicks the Patriot, allowing Austin to pick up the win with a stunner. All four men brawl to close the show. WrestleMania 14. We get a steel cage match for the European title as we get champion Shawn Michaels versus the Patriot. JR really boosts up the inside the steel cage. Chyna and Triple H will not be able to help Michaels as Wilkes has now seemed to be able to get him, had his number in the past. Now Michaels, he's not injured here like he would have been, because we would have never had that casket match at the Royal Rumble, because with him not being the champion, there was no reason to have that casket match with The Undertaker, correct? So, Shawn Michaels, he's not injured here, so he can go out here and truly perform at WrestleMania 14 as he couldn't against Austin. However, his demons, they're still there, people. Let's just be honest. We get a 16-star Meltzer classic here inside the steel cage with great use of the cage, actually. Michaels ends up a bloody mess but fights on. JR, there's no escape for HBK as he must stand on his own. One man will stand victorious tonight. Triple H and Chyna, they try to break into the cage when none other than LOD 2000 with Sonny. They come down to chase them off. Shawn is in disbelief. The Patriot locks in the Patriot slam for the 1, 2, 3, and new European champion, the Patriot. The Patriot stands tall. And man, what a WrestleMania. We still go on to have the Tyson Austin moment. The only thing we're going to change is instead of Shawn Michaels, we got Owen Hart in this matchup. That would have been awesome, as Austin and Owen, they really always had great chemistry. Maybe this could have bridged the gap. You know, they didn't want to work. Austin didn't want to work with him after he became the man. But if he had to do the honors for him to become the man, maybe their relationship would have been a little different. Who knows? That's a what if for another day, people. But with the Patriots' first year in the books, where do we go from here? He's the European champion. Would he stay with the WWF? Maybe going on to win an Intercontinental Championship or a tag team title with Ken Shamrock. We're in the beginning of the Attitude Era. Or as a former WWF champion, two-time European champion, would he go on and return, make a triumphant return to the WCW to battle against the NWO, helping Sting out, maybe even winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship? Who knows? Had he stayed healthy? These are the things we ask here each and every week on Card Subject to Change. Drop a comment below, let me know what you think. Drop a comment below, let me know what shows you want to see upcoming. I'm going to have a lot more content coming, guys. Bear with me. We're getting back in the swing of things after everything that happened. So we will have continual content moving forward. I'm already working on the next episode, people. With that being said, though, always remember the card is subject to change.